Hello, my visionaries and thought leaders. Welcome to the 7-2 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I am so grateful that you are spending this time with me. We're going to do some training up in this space today, some Jedi training. So allow me to introduce myself if this is the first time you are here. My name is Emily Harrison. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy. And I work with visionaries and thought leaders, training them to exit the world of ordinary mind and tap into superconscious intelligence through their Akashic Records. All right, so if you are new to the Akashic Records, don't worry. I'm going to give you a high-level overview of what the records are. First, just say hello. Let your presence be known here in this space. What's up, Lisa Gardner? All right, let me know where you are tuning in from. I am joining you live today from the high Sierras in Reno, Nevada. Powerful energy pulsing through this part of the world. We are super close to Lake Tahoe, which is where one place in the United States where the Kundalini energy of the planet surfaces, which is really powerful. And it stays on the surface, flowing, following the Truckee River to Pyramid Lake, where it tucks back underground. So take a moment and just breathe in, tap into that frequency, the transmission that we get to share together. I'm sending y'all some vortex energy today. All right. If you are new to the Akashic Records, this is the realm of consciousness that holds all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. The cool thing is, every single human on the planet has the ability to tap into this field of intelligence. So first of all, why do we want to tap into the Akashic Records? Well, when we can tap into this level of perspective and get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity from our soul's perspective in our life, that becomes very helpful. It becomes very helpful for a lot of reasons. All right, here's how I like to help people with it. First of all, clearing your karma. All right. What does that actually mean? Well, your karma, this is going to be the lessons that you're here to learn in this lifetime. And it usually looks like the places in your life where you're stuck or you're sick or you got bad patterns happening, patterns of lack, patterns of, so many of us are attached to suffering in our energy fields. A lot of that's ancestral energy. All right. So clearing our karma means doing the self-work that turns on self-healing. We have the ability to heal all of these things about ourself, our physical, our mental, our emotional bodies. We have the ability to heal our ancestry. This is very exciting. And when we heal, we move back into a state of peace, love, and joy. We stop fighting with each other. We stop fighting with ourselves. We move into a civilization that collaborates. And this is truly the divine blueprint, the divine design for planet Earth. Regina Kellum in the house too. What's up, Regina and Lisa? All right, so let's see. What else do I want to tell you about the Akashic Records? That's why we want to tap into them. The Akashic Records are a hidden technology. They've been hidden in plain sight from us here on the planet. And that is part of my mission, is to return this powerful technology to the planet so that we can move beyond our previous limitations and come together to collaborate and create the new Earth. Right? We are in a time of evolution here on the planet where our solar system is aligning to galactic center. We are moving from a location in the galaxy, a darker part of the universe, if you will, the Kali Yuga, 26,000 years of an age of darkness, of shadow here on this planet and in our solar system. And we are moving into the age of Aquarius, the age of light. We are being bombarded by photons of light from galactic center that's awakening our DNA. This is our unmet potential, our dormant potential, our ability to heal ourselves, our ability to understand from a higher perspective the beauty, the magnificence of who we are, the power that's behind the human. All right. So the guys want me to tell you a couple more things before we get rocking and rolling. All right. I'm going to, do you want me to share my story? I feel like there's so many things that they're wanting me to monologue on today. All right. Here's the deal with the Akashic Records. They work by what's known as invitation only. It is all of the knowledge in the whole universe. So you can ask whatever question you want. It can be a personal question. It can be a global question. All right, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and start lighting my chat box up with questions. Because while everybody can do this, you can do this too. I'm going to show you how it works today. I'm going to do it for you. Okay. And then at the end of our time here together, we're going to jam for the next 45 minutes or so. At the end of our time together here, I'll share with you too how you can tap into your own records. All right. But consider it a demonstration. And your soul came here to learn a few things. There are a couple of lessons, some monologues the guys want me to bring me through. I say monologue because I'm a former actress. So I am going to tell my story really quickly for those of you who are new, how I got to reading the Akashic Records. I promise you, I'm going to start from the very beginning. I was born in a small town in Louisiana, Missouri, on the Mississippi River. 3,000 people. I promise you I'll give you the abridged version though, okay? I grew up immersed in Southern baptism. My mom was a Sunday school teacher, so I was all up in it. And also a rebel. All right, I was sneaking out of my house at night. I'm known in my small town, infamously known for getting caught sneaking out of my house one time. I will not go into that story. But just full disclosure, I have a lot of connection to spirit and then a lot of rebel in me too. I was a Gemini. On the outside, definitely a rule follower, followed my rules and my way to my sophomore year at Mizzou, University of Missouri, Columbia. I was not happy. The more I was moving myself inside the box, the more rebellious my spirit was becoming. And I was driving home from campus one day, zoned out a bit driving, had this epiphany moment. Y'all are going to love this one if you don't know the story, where I decided to go to Hollywood. So the epiphany moment that I had, it was truly a download. It was a cellular realization of, hey, Emily, you don't like your life. You don't like what you're doing, what you're creating. Your life is yours. Choose something different. What do you want to do? And my 19-year-old self answered, well, go to Hollywood, of course. Seek my fame and fortune in Hollywood. So that's what I did. I pulled the plug on life in Missouri, hightailed it to Los Angeles, to Hollywood, where beginner's luck struck me. I had a manager and an agent before I knew it, going out on auditions. I started getting roles right away too. Not the roles I wanted. First role I ever got was Curse of the Puppet Master 6. Okay. I wanted roles that looked, that emulated Angelina Jolie. I'm just going to say it. I saw myself as this A-list movie star. And what I discovered was I wasn't very good in the audition room. I was great in my head. When I would practice in my head, my lines before I went in, I was really good. But then when I went in the audition room, I was not good. And I needed to start doing things that not only grew my understanding and craft of acting, but also cultivated my subtle energy body so I could control my nerves. I started doing Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, meditations, studying the law of attraction. The more I dove into metaphysics, the more it worked, y'all, the more acting jobs I got. So I just dove in, was a sponge for anything I could get my hands on, 20 years. And while my career was advancing in Hollywood, the more roles I was getting, truly the more I was missing as well. I mean, it's a numbers game. I was auditioning for more things, bigger roles, missing out on a lot of just like big career making roles and feeling the rejection, the disappointment. I was a young mom, challenges of balancing career, motherhood. I had challenges in my marriage at that time that were bigger than me. I didn't have the tools to speak my truth and to manage my emotions. And on the outside, things looked pretty nice. And on the inside, things were pretty much a shit show. And I truly felt the most alive in my life when I was meditating and gardening even. So I'm out gardening one day. My neighbor comes limping by. I realized I haven't seen him for 6 months. I say, Daniel, what happened to you? He said, oh, I fell and shattered my ankle. It's not healing well. I said, do you want to come over for some energy healing? And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I hoped that he was going to say no, because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was an actor, so I was an energy healer. And he said yes. And so he came over, and the best plan I had at the time was to wing it. Like improv acting, just go with it, go with whatever comes up. And what came up was a visit from my friend's father who had passed. So it was mediumship is the specific kind of visitation I had. It happened within my imagination. And because, it was my friend, we had a conversation about it, and I was able to confirm all of the information that came in through his father who had passed. And it truly changed my life because I didn't consider myself psychic. Although what I had learned from all of the self-training and knowledge that I had acquired was that truly we're all psychic, right? And the more that I committed and devoted myself to the work, the higher my vibration got. And I was able to perceive beyond what is seen in the 3D world. And as I shared the messages that were confirmed with my friend, I saw this massive healing. I mean, think about how it moves our soul when we have these brushes with the greater energy, the cosmic mystery, right? And it changed me. I wanted to go from living in the glamour and the storytelling of Hollywood to living in the mystery of the cosmos and telling that story and inspiring people. And I didn't know honestly what it looked like. I knew I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to help people in some way. At that point, I didn't know exactly what it was, but I definitely was at a crossroads. My life had shifted. And what it looked like for me was I picked up a Conscious Life magazine on my last audition to in the city into Hollywood. And so I ran and pulled that magazine out of my portfolio and I start flipping through it, and I'm seeing classes for Reiki and yoga and then Akashic Records. And I'm like, that's it. Because I knew the Akashic Records held all knowledge, past, present, all possible futures. And I was interested in everything: past lives, future lives, theta healing, ancestral healing, tapping into our greatest potential. That's how I use it now. All right. Is to help us heal, turn on areas of our life where we're hanging on to karma, whether it's from this lifetime or previous lifetimes, so we can free up our energy. And the records dials us directly into where to do that. Super exciting. And then also, like I said, to tap into our creative genius. So my life shifted from Hollywood into training others how to read their Akashic Records. Once I learned, back from, my days in Sunday school, Jesus said, he said it himself, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. And I recognize, dude, if everybody can do this, why not remind the planet that we are all connected? We are all wired to tap in to God mind, to soul intelligence. This will help us during this time of radical acceleration. Remember, the evolutionary alignment that we are experiencing is allowing us to wake up to our skills. And one of the skills we have is the ability to tap into superconscious intelligence, to get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity as we navigate here on this physical plane. All right. So that was one thing that the guides wanted me to share. Miss Regina has a question here. You had none of this interest until you got to Hollywood. Well, I would say I was pretty interested in psychic-y kind of things, like all growing up. I did feel like I had telekinesis growing up, because pretty much any leaf I ever focused on, Miss Regina, I would start moving. And then I shared it with my friend Lisa at the bus stop. And Lisa basically told me I was batshit crazy. And so I, like probably many of you, shut that down. I definitely had encounters with what I felt like were more ghosty kind of energies. I grew up in a home that was an old plantation home in Missouri. So there was always an invitation to explore mystical things. I was fascinated with the stars. I could find constellations as a young kid. So I would say there was evidence of this throughout my childhood, of being what many people call a starseed. Okay, so yes, this is another thing that the records did want me to talk about. They want me to talk about the mastery that is the human potential that we are waking up to right now on the planet. Because a lot of the bigger galactic history here on our planet has been hidden. It's been wiped from the planet in ages where we have experienced a fall from grace, i.e. Atlantis and Lemuria, i.e. ancient Egypt. Okay. But here is the cosmic story of the original star seeding of our planet here. Because humans are designed to be truly, like, our DNA is designed to be the masterpiece of the galaxy. So we are a combination of DNA from a collection of different star systems in the galaxy. All of their greatest, most potent, most masterful DNA. This looks like the Pleiadian constellation, the Pleiadian star system, Alcyon. We're getting a lot of codes transmitted to this planet back from Alcyon. We're also receiving a lot of codes from Sirius, the star system Sirius. This is where our spiritual sun is located. Other star systems at play are the Arcturians, the Andromedans, Orion, Lyrans. And what happened was the galactic war that human beings were seeded to be the masterpiece of the universe and to bring victory over this galactic war. This galactic war originally started in the constellation Lyra when it was infiltrated by reptilian energy. Okay, you might have heard of the reptilians. Here are the basics that you need to know about the reptilians, the guides are saying for today. And that is, the reptilians are a non-sentient being, meaning their emotional bodies aren't developed. So having compassion is not illuminated in their DNA yet. They're on their own evolutionary path and journey. And this was allowed in that construct, in the Lyran construct, for the sake of learning and growth on the planet. Source allowed certain places in the galaxy for darkness to become a mechanism for learning, for growth. All right, and as this darkness infiltrated Lyra, y'all, the amazing civilization that was the Lyran civilization, a civilization of creators and collaborators and peacemakers and abundance and prosperity. So good. That was infiltrated. And this powerful divine civilization that was experienced here in the solar system began to experience darkness. And this darkness began to spread throughout other aspects of the galaxy. Members of a high council came together. And this is when the original plan for the human experiment was seeded, that the most powerful pieces of genetic material from throughout the galaxy, so the most powerful healers, the most powerful artists, the most powerful technological masters, technological minds, the scientists, the mothers, the fathers, that we would bring all of that genius, that love, that collaboration that had developed through different aspects of the universe in specialty form, bring it all together in one being. And that's when planet Earth was seeded. And we have experienced several cycles of bringing the evolutionary energy, the collective consciousness of the planet here to the state of the 5D, peace, love, and joy, where we're existing in that Lyran state that I described. And then we too wipe ourselves out. That's the great return of knowledge and power that we're experiencing right now as our DNA is coming online. We are remembering the truth of who we are, our ability to heal ourselves, to love one another, to love this planet. And as you begin to love at this level, your perspective changes, your frequency changes, what is possible for you changes. Yet we've been so infiltrated by darkness, by false constructs of fear, of shame, of blame here on the planet for generations. This is that cycle of darkness, the Kali Yuga, that we're coming out of. And the records are such a powerful tool that are coming back into our awareness, back into our consciousness, that we can use right now to help us wake up to this greater cosmic truth. All right. And here's also what's super exciting is that all the change that we need to make in the world. Okay, just so you know, this is the teaser for the actual whole episode for y'all to be saying, like, when the hell is she going to get to that manifestation part? And I have teenagers, which is why I'm drinking out of a beer mug. If you have teenagers or have experienced teenagers, you'll know that this is hashtag true story. If you don't, you're probably going to question me. But seriously, like every glass in my house is dirty right now. So this is what I had before the show started. Okay. Okay. So I talked about the Akashic Records had some intel coming in that they wanted to share about that's going to help you be a better manifestor, help you stop sabotaging any manifestations. And we're going to use this technique here together today to not only increase the frequency of peace here on the planet, but increase the frequency of peace within yourself, which will help you deal with everything. It's pretty much where you want to start. And, you know, when I teach people about reading the Akashic Records and going into the Akashic Records, there are a lot of different ways to get into the records. You've probably stumbled in, whether you've been formally trained or not, especially if you're here. How we enter into the space of the Akashic Records is we must become a vibrational match to the frequency of unconditional love and zero judgment. No. It can be challenging in our everyday life to just stumble into that state. Most of us are very stressed out and caught in our stories of limitation. And so there's a process that I take people through that just basically tune the energy field up. Okay. It's a combination of a guided meditation, some visualization, and some sound toning in the body, which prepares the body for communication. Yeah, but there are a lot of different ways to get into your Akashic Records. I think I derailed just a little bit there. Back to manifestation. Here's what your records want you to know about manifesting. Because a lot of us unknowingly sabotage our manifesting by doing this, which I say we unknowingly sabotage. Let me also state that we are manifesting perfectly in every moment. So that's another reason that the soul incarnated here, not only to be part of this epic galactic bringing back of light here on the planet. We're also here to learn about ourselves. Like the human technology was designed to be, think of it as a piece of machinery. I'm going to call it a piece of technology designed to allow consciousness to know itself, to allow the God energy, the energy of the goddess of source, to be animated through a physical experience and to have consciousness to reflect and to create. So that's what your human technology is here for, is for to take your soul on a journey of evolution so that you can know the energy of God, the energy of source, of creator. And we're all doing it perfectly. Our mechanism is designed to do that. Here are the pieces that we need to know, all right? Because we can go down lots of rabbit holes around the law of attraction. And I mean, it's a very big conversation. I have a feeling what the records are going to share today is not a direction that you've considered a place to up-level your manifestation skills. And again, we're manifesting perfectly in every moment. Your skills are perfect anyway, just so you can do it with more consciousness. All right? So our thoughts are what create reality. What is reality? I know it feels very physical and very dense. That's kind of a trick, y'all. It's a holographic reality. Okay. While it appears that my hand will not go through the desk here, this is my desk underneath that you can't see. We know that everything is energy, everything is space on the quantum field, right? So the reality that we are all experiencing as solid is actually very manipulatable. It is energy. And what projects it into the field that we're all experiencing, that looks like the collective reality we're sharing, is a piece of technology. It's sacred geometry. It's a dodecahedron. And it's wrapped around the planet. And we're all plugged into this through our third eye. And we are rapidly shooting vision associated with our thoughts, whether we realize this or not. As soon as we have a thought, it projects into our mind, into our imagination, and connects out into that dodecahedron, that field of reality. And it starts pulsing like a movie playing really fast. And what we experience as our collective reality is a combination of all of the visual images and the frequency of those collective images that we're pumping into the field. The Native Americans knew about this. They actually appointed special jobs within the community, within the society. This was often held by the grandmothers, visionary grandmothers, who would gather together, go away from the tribe, and go into dream state and a vision state to connect with this field, this web, if you will, around the planet, and send in vision, conscious vision for the tribe, which includes peace, prosperity, abundance. Okay? Here's what's happening though. Our thoughts are what are creating our reality, and for the vast majority of us, our thoughts are happening subconsciously. They're happening so fast, we're not even aware of what's happening. So here are the statistical averages of what a human has when it comes to thought activity, mental activity over the course of a day. Okay. The average human has between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day. 90% of those thoughts are negative. 80% of them are repetitive, same thoughts you had yesterday. And 95 to 99% of those thoughts are subconscious. You don't even realize you are thinking them. So for many of us, if we haven't gone through training really around, first of all, awareness with our thoughts, ability to tame our thoughts, ability to allow our thoughts to reveal information, to be with our thoughts and sit with the feelings that come up if we're clearing. Where there's a lot of mental illness here on the planet is we haven't actually been taught or gone through training processes that allow us to understand how important our thoughts are and how to manage them properly. So the vast majority of what we're thinking is happening on autopilot. And those negative thoughts are coming from the unhealed traumas, the painful things that we haven't healed or resolved in our life your body keeps score. This is a book that is written, scientific book, that you could look at your body as an Akashic record, storing all of the details of everything that's happened to you that you haven't processed and released. Which we can do some of right now, by the way. Light up my chat box with your questions. Okay. If you have areas of your life where you feel like you're stuck and you're cycling in patterns, let me know and we'll do a little bit of work on it. We'll do a lot of bit of work on it. Actually, the Akashic Records go deep, get it out fast. Light your ass up, get you on your way. Okay. All right. So let's tap in together to this collective field. First of all, the guides want to bring in a clearing and a healing around our mental bodies. Bringing light, illuminating light into the mental body so that you can just have more awareness of your thoughts. But before I turn you loose with what's really going on in your head, that's scary for some of y'all. We're going to open up some heart energy so that you can love yourself through it. If you want to receive that heart energy, you can say yes, no. That heart activation. And then we're also going to activate solar plexus. That's courage to know the truth as it is revealed for your highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to you. Okay, that's part of the pathway prayer that comes from Linda Howe. Linda Howe is my mentor in the Akashic Records. Okay, yes. Thank you all for receiving that. All right, so now we're going to call in the light to illuminate the thoughts. Let's just bring in that light down from the Akash, from the place of infinite intelligence, and bringing it through the whole body, spiraling it through the crystalline tube, banging my tuning fork on the desk below. I've actually done a fantastic job not banging my mic today. I've only banged it once. Usually talking with my hands so much, I thought I was going to bang this sucker 3 or 4 times. All right, I'm going to invite you to feel all 4 corners of your feet on the floor. Sit up nice and straight. Activate the crystalline tube of light that's running up and down your spine. Take a nice deep breath in, and with your next exhale, anchor it into the core of Mother Earth, making that connection with the planet, remembering the crystalline tube of light as a bi-directional piece of technology, so you can not only release any density, just exhale, let it go. Give the directive for your body to let go of any stress, to let go of any limitation. Yeah, just let go of anything that's holding you back from seeing your higher truth, from seeing your potential. You're letting that go. Then imagine calling up from Mother Earth. Okay, since I'm telling so many cosmic stories right now, y'all, I'll invite you into the story of Mother Earth, Goddess Sophia, who is so fully embodied in her Christic consciousness energy that she incarnated as a physical planet here to host the experiment of evolution, the masterpiece of the human remembering and awakening, and giving us all of the blueprints, all of the knowledge and the divine potential we need, along with free will if we so choose. This is a planet where we can embody and animate the energy of heaven on earth. So let that remembrance flow back up into you from Mother Earth, illuminating, activating the DNA that's ready to activate for you. Good job. Crystalline tube of light, this time send it out the top of your head, all the way up through the layers of space and time, exiting the universe, exiting the multiverse. Inhale as you anchor into the Akash. Good, nice slow exhale. See if you can notice the intelligence of your soul forward and backward through time, assimilating, coming together for you in gold, platinum, diamond sparkles of light. And I want you to imagine those spiraling very quickly down the crystalline tube of light, entering in through your upper gateways, harnessing, activating the soul star, spiraling down through the crown, the third eye, the fourth eye, the throat, the ascended heart, solar plexus, sacral root, spiraling down out your feet, activating Earth Star chakra below your feet, and anchoring into the crystalline core center of Mother Earth. Breathing. Okay, guys, you are connected to the frequencies of heaven on earth. You are running those codes through your body, through your being right now. I want you to imagine sending the energy of peace, love, joy into the dodecahedron now. So send that energy out your third eye. Imagine connecting to the 12-sided platonic solid, the sacred geometry that surrounds the planet, and sending pulses of white light. White light has its own consciousness, and we are backing that with our own intention of peace, love, and joy, and sending that into the planet right now. Ooh, it's powerful. Thank you all for you are here who are doing this. If you are here today, if you're participating in this activation, you will likely experience a remembrance within your DNA, a transmission, inviting you to remember your work as a vision keeper, as a light worker, as a difference maker. You'll remember that and allow it to illuminate and activate in your soul blueprint now. Ooh. Okay, slow blinks coming back into the body. It's a lot of energy running through. Good job, guys. Let me know how you're feeling. That was fun. All right, let's get some questions for the Akashic. Sorry, let me not shout. Y'all are just coming back into your bodies after that great work. Come on back in. Nice deep breath. You might want to rub the hands together. This really helps to bring awareness to masculine and feminine parts of your body and brain, because you're personally going to receive the upgrades of doing this too. So what you can do is just give your body that direction to find the balance by rubbing your hands together. And then gently, don't mess up your makeup or your eyelashes, okay? Your lip gloss. And you just want to touch the body. It's like giving the body a hug. Touch is the same as hug, that sensation. And what it does to the body, what it does to your cells, is it signals to your cells that you are safe. And you want to feel safe holding this level of power. A lot of us shy away from power. To be perfectly honest with you, a lot of us are the ones who fucked it up in Atlantis and Lemuria. We abused power. And to be, again, perfectly honest, that it was a long era. So if your soul did abuse power during that time, you probably also had a lifetime where you helped the advancement of the light, the advancement of the experiment. Okay. So basically what happened was the Lemurians holding the frequency of being in tune with the natural world. That was the divine feminine energy. And the Atlanteans holding the energy of technology and wanting to advance technology forward. They lived in peace until they disagreed about which was more important to do and in what order. The Lemurian grandmothers knew about 2,000 years before the cataclysm that that's where we was headed. So the Lemurian grandmothers began to preserve the intelligence of the Lemurian and a lot of the Atlantean society. The Atlanteans aren't all bad, by the way. Nobody's all good or bad in any of this. It's about going within, finding all of it within yourself, finding the Atlantean, the Lemurian, both within yourself, the masculine, the feminine, the part of you that wants to fight yourself and be hard on yourself, and the part of you that wants peace, that wants to love yourself. We are in this internal battle. Everything that we are experiencing on the outside that we're projecting to the dodecahedron is really coming from what's going on inside of each one of us collectively. That's why if you do your own work to stop hating your damn selves, because y'all are amazing, we're very powerful beings. And we chose to incarnate, and we freaking won the lottery for that matter. I'm sure it's not that easy just to get into this planet right now. Seriously, guys, all eyes on planet Earth right now and what happens here, because it affects everything else in the galaxy. We have the opportunity in this lifetime to wake up to our physical, mental, emotional, and light body, the potential to heal all of these aspects of the human and truly experience what our divine potential is. As a collective race, we can ascend. The portals are open. And it requires each one of us to find our way. There's self-leadership that's involved. Again, which is why the Akashic Records are so brilliant, because they begin to activate the initiate, the innate intelligence within each one of us. All right, fire up some questions here, y'all, because I just been monologuing all day. Has this been valuable to you? Send some love like hearts across the screen if you're having fun. All right, so here's the dealio. Once you learn how to tap into your own Akashic Records, you can have results in your life that I would say that you probably never thought possible. Okay, some of my favorite stories of transformation look like self-healing. My client Cindy couldn't go out in the sun. She had an autoimmune disease, 30 years. didn't go out in the sun. After this training and this experience of learning to read her Akashic Records, she figured out why, she figured out how to heal it, and she did it. And now she goes out in sandals and shorts. I love the story of Robert, who was very esteemed and regarded for his role in the 3D world. I work with a lot of clients who are like, Emily, I don't have anybody I can talk to the woo about. All right, so Robert is one of these amazing men who has a powerful story and legacy here on the planet that involves not only learning how to channel his wife who had passed, but also include his story and her story in an epic project, the Atlas Project, actually, for men whose partners are diagnosed with terminal illness in his life. It's a big one, right? I have clients who are working on awesome stuff like reverse engineering the timeline for humanity, where we have reduced emissions on the planet and we are living in a clean, golden age. It's super fun. So here's what I have to say. If you are curious if the Akashic Records are the right next step for you, I'm going to encourage you to book an enrollment call with me, discovery call, and I will take you through the questions that let me put them in there, the questions that I take everybody through that really helps them to discover if the Akashic Records are going to be the thing for you like they were the thing for me. Dude, once I started learning the records, everything in my life started making sense. I recognized why I was hitting some resistance in other areas of my life. My relationship shifted, and I've stepped into a completely different timeline that is pretty exciting and awesome. All right, and I'm excited to help you guys do that too. All right, so if you want to talk more about the Akashic Records, book a call with me. Lisa Gardner, thank you for a question to wrap us up today. What does it mean if you experience times of feeling density? Sorry, I don't know how to say it. It just means that our frequency has dropped out of feeling peace, love, and joy. That we've experienced distortion. Distortion meaning anytime we're feeling density, that's not actually of our divine blueprint. It's not the highest truth. It's an illusion. It's Maya. And density, illusion, Maya happens on planets like planet Earth because it is an amazing teacher. That's why the idea of polarity and darkness is allowed in certain planes, because it is the most magnificent teacher. Because when we are in that state of oneness, that God mind, there's no contrast. And so we don't actually know how amazing it is till our soul dips down into the gutter. It's not the gutter. This is not the gutter planet. I know that it can look like that's what we're experiencing right now. This is a destination planet. So beautiful. Your soul is an advanced soul. If you are here to learn, to experience. It's actually exciting. And that's part of the transition from the Kali Yuga, the darkness, into the age of light. So many paradigms are transitioning. So many paradigms that were dysfunctional or we've outgrown get to change. All right. But the darkness, the light, the dark, north, south pole, day, night, as above, so below. It's one of the cosmic laws that govern this plane of existence. The more you know about cosmic laws, the more you're going to understand about yourself and how you work. Okay. But the density is allowed here on this plane. And once you begin to recognize how density, polarity works, there's light, dark, there's the opposites, you begin to see it on all the causal planes. As above, so below. So you not only see it in terms of day, night, you see it in the bigger structures, but you see it on the smaller structures within yourself as well. So this is self-knowledge, right? So when we're feeling dense, what it just means is that it means that the human experiment is working on you. and you're learning through the density. And here's where the portal comes in, the shift. We're also invited the opportunity to wake up within the dream that is life, because we go on autopilot. Can we wake up within the dream and be like, oh, damn, I'm in density. How did I get here? And then you get an answer and you figure it out. And you're like, oh, I can choose differently. And then your God presence comes in where you start to manifest and choose differently, because truly we manifested the density that we're experiencing as well. We just did it as an accidental oopsie. It slipped out. We probably didn't mean to. That's how it feels from this perspective, our human perspective. Our soul knows WTF. That means what the fuck? Sometimes the modern day acronyms confuse me. GAF was one that got me the other day. But sometimes from the human perspective, because we agree to forgetting when we come here, because that makes the whole thing just a little bit more amazing and challenging for the soul, we have to wake up and remember this truth. I know, it's a brilliant experiment, isn't it? So if we can recognize that we're in the density, we can wake up within the dream, we can become lucid within the dream, and we can begin to ask ourselves these questions. We can make different choices and have different outcomes. So that's all that it means that when we're in density. And here are the things that create the density or the distortion. One, it can be unhealed trauma within us that can be, as small as, you got embarrassed in the 3rd grade when you accidentally called your teacher grandma. And his name was Mr. Burkett. So when I accidentally called him Granny, he said, "What did you say? What did you call me?" And I was too embarrassed to say it. Just slipped out because I was going to Granny Francis's house after school, and I don't know, my circuits blew. So it can be something as small as that, or something as, huge and massive in your life. For example, my son got kidnapped. That the Akashic Records can help us clear trauma around. Okay. It felt like there's one other thing about the density. Oh yeah. So other things besides our trauma that can distort our field, Lisa, watching too much TV, especially reality TV. That's probably not you. No, I do. It's me. I put reality TV on, and it's Project Runway. So there's not a whole lot of drama going on, but when I need to sit outside of my office and put something else on, that's what I put on. And too much of any negativity, people or TV will short circuit me and distort my field. Not enough time outside. So you got to get outside. Okay. And eat healthy food. If I eat too much processed food, which I don't eat a whole lot of processed food, but every now and then, I pick up things from the store that I try to help make my life a little bit easier, running the business and cooking all the time. And I'll pick up something from Trader Joe's that I'll heat up. I try not to use my microwave, by the way, but I'll heat up stuff on the stove and in the oven. And yeah, I'll just say the more fresh food I make, the better off I feel, even though I still do have my opt-out moments. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me today. Again, just a reminder, if you want to talk more about it, the Akashic Records is going to be the game changer that you have been looking for in your life to step into your ability to self-heal, your ability to unlock your genius and understand what your mission is here on the planet, and your desire to serve others. I find that many of you who come into my field are part of that program here too. You're here to really become a difference maker and a visionary holding space for the new earth. All right. I love you guys. If this has served you, please share it out with somebody, and I will see you back here next week.
My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop, and I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.